Hey, you guys. So today's going to be a story time. And I just hope and pray that it touches those that are dealing with the same thing or have done or know somebody currently who's dealing with this thing. So, and I have me let me show you. I have me a little salad here. A chicken um air fried chicken with um goodness, red onions, a little bit of shredded cheese and feta with diced tomatoes. And so usually, but not this time, I make my ranch with um, Greek yogurt and the ranch seasoning packet, and it's delicious. So way back, when I was about 12 years old, um, at that time I felt unheard and I lacked attention that I wanted, as a kid, as a child, you kind of want that from your parents. I mean, and you just do. But that time in particular, that just wasn't the case. Mm. So this particular day, I my mama was showing us how to roll up collard greens and slice them to so that they can be cooked. And I accidentally cut my finger, and she rushed over there like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? You got to be careful." And so I'm thinking, oh, so that's how I can get her to, pay me some attention. So after that, y'all, I started cutting myself. I started cutting myself. It was being raw and open. It started out from thinking that that was going to get her attention. Um, for a minute it did. It raised concern, but also for a while after that, it didn't matter. I'm not going to say she didn't care, but what she showed, she didn't care. So that's that. And so I started doing it not to get attention, but to relieve uh, anytime I got mad. So basically, I went from just periodically cutting myself just to get a little attention to every time I got upset, every time my feelings got hurt, every time anything wrong happened, I would just cut myself. All of my arms, sometimes my legs. And I always told myself I don't I didn't want to kill myself. Just to be clear, I didn't want to kill myself. Because usually when I would do it, I thought it was taking the anger away. I would just take it out on myself and then be done with it. That now I know that wasn't the right thing to do. Um that part of my life I fully regret um because I did it for so long. I didn't stop cutting myself until I want to say, I met my cousin, I was 25. I think I was 25. Around 24, 25, y'all, and I started at 12. At 12. So I didn't have an out. I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't know how to tell people this is what you've done and it hurt me. Get it out. I withheld things and I took it out on myself. I had already hated myself. I slipped into depression, and I had um like I didn't have that ear, and at that time I didn't know Christ like I do now. So that played a role as well. And I'm just like, this will be, this is what we about to be doing. It upset a lot of people at the time, but then people slowly but surely stopped caring. And so I was like, I ain't doing this for them. I'm not doing this for attention anymore. I'm doing this so that I can calm down, so that I can, um, you know, chill, basically. And that was not the right thing to do. I mean, I regret that, but at the time I didn't. I thought, well, since I'm not trying to kill myself, so God doesn't care. I thought, as long as I wasn't trying to kill myself, it wasn't a big deal. I thought completely wrong. And that's only because, like I said, I didn't know Christ back then, like I do now. I knew he was there. I knew there was a God, but hmm, mm-mm. I didn't know him and I didn't have a relationship with him. There's a difference in that. And so I kept all those years I kept doing it. I kept cutting, 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 get mad, cut, get sad, cut, um, get my feelings hurt, cut, heartbreak, somebody walk in and out of my life, cut. And a couple times I actually went a little too deep. It was kind of scary because, like I said, I wasn't doing it to harm myself. I just was trying to get rid of the pain I was feeling, and I didn't know how to do that other than this because I wasn't taught how. I didn't know how. I wasn't taught how. I didn't just have that support. I didn't have, like, you know, my dad wasn't there. My mom was there, but then she would leave, and so we would be left with the uncle that sexually assaulted us, you know. And so it just was a whole big mess, my whole childhood, a whole big mess, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. And I just looked at myself in disgust because it was multiple times that I had been sexually assaulted. It wasn't just once. So I felt disgusted. I felt ill. I bought all different types of soap and everything just to scrub, 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 nothing. And even my stepmom told me one day, like, you can't wash it away. She got me to see a therapist and all of these things, and I found out what was going on with me. But up until that time, I that was my out. That was what I would do. And I didn't care who felt what about it. I wasn't the type to wear long sleeves. Sometimes I did when I would go too far. But I fully regret that 100%. When I met my cousin who I moved to Michigan with, who I moved here with, she told me that I was grieving the Holy Spirit. That's what she told me. She didn't make it about her. She didn't say, promise me you'll stop cutting. Promise me, promise me. Mm-mm. Mm. She said, you're grieving the Holy Spirit. And it crushed me. Because once I met her, she started teaching me about God. I started building a relationship with Him, and so and then I started experiencing Him. Oh my gosh, it was like incredible. And so I had started loving Him, and so I'm like, when she told me that, I was crushed. It crushed my soul. I ain't did it since. I'm 35 now. I met her when I was 25. I ain't did it since. I don't care who make me mad. I don't care who walk in and out of my life. I don't care who break my heart. I will never do that again. And I just hope and pray that the people that's out there that are children or teenagers that was young like I was, that's harming themselves, it's not you that did it. Don't hurt yourself. Just seek the Lord on the matter and take a step back and just think, because there's nothing good going to come out of it. All it's doing is slapping a band-aid on something and making the whole situation worse. You're doing nothing but hurting yourself. And especially if it's for people who don't really care about you anyway, you're hurting yourself for people who's not even showing that they care about you. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no. None of that. I don't care what it is. If you self-medicate or, I got to do this drug to calm down, I have to do this or do that to calm, you do not. We serve a God that and His love is not conditioned. There's nothing you can do to change His love for you. So please just stop, seek help. Just evaluate the situation, evaluate why you are doing what you're doing. Because even down to like drugs, you don't have to use those things to calm down. When the Lord is our joy, is our peace. When you truly allow Him to be that for you, you are a totally different creature. You are totally different. And it don't matter who feel this way or that way, about you. Because sure, once you change your life and start living for Christ and not doing what please you, there are going to be people that walk away from you, or to just, oh, you think you're so holy. That's not what it is. Your light and their darkness is clashing. The enemy don't like your light. So I'll say this. Just pray. When you want to go to the drugs, when you want to go to the alcohol, when you want to cut yourself, when you want to do all these horrible things to your body because as somebody else or because of your own mental thoughts, go to the Lord. Seek help with Him. Seek help with a therapist, because they're in place for a reason. Doctors they're in place for a reason. And I say seek help no matter whatever it may be. I encourage you guys to just try it. For some it don't happen overnight. Like even with me, I tried to stop cutting quite a few times, and one time I lasted about 2 years, but it came back. So it's just one of those things that enemy just was like, yeah, I got her in the palm of my hand. Don't let them, please. Don't let them. Stay encouraged, please. Stay encouraged. Um, I am willing to do whatever I can for whoever needs me, a ear, my opinion. I hope this video reach even one person and help them to change their mind on hurting themselves. Um, and so I would like for you guys to leave comments, ask me any questions. Nothing is off limits. Nothing at all is off limits. You can DM me, you can comment under this video, but just be encouraged. Seek the Lord on the matter. Just step back, breathe, and this too shall pass. So until next time, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.